I've never been an enormous fan of autumn. I love summer and I love spring, and I'm always sad when those are ending. But I think having started gardening as a hobby this year, it has really given me a bigger appreciation for autumn and all the important things that happen in the plant kingdom during this season. And I find that so inspiring. So I want to decorate my artist studio in the beautiful colors that we see in nature in this time of year. If you're new here, my name is Evie, and in this video we are gonna decorate my studio for autumn. I think I want to start with the packing station because that is where I do the majority of my work when I'm kind of walking around up on my legs. It has to be relatively empty because I'm starting a big shipping project in just under a week, and of course we're going to be vlogging all that as well. I bought this fabric quite a while ago and it never really turned into the project that I wanted it to turn into. So I think I'm going to use it as a tablecloth because it's got this beautiful linen texture and a very autumnal kind of earthy white to it. I think it'll be nice. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna start tidying up the packing station. I'm going to pack away my summer decor, and then we're gonna start decorating it and making it nice and craftsy and autumnal for fall. All set with the tablecloth, so I'm gonna cut it and we'll see how it looks. I took ages looking for my fabric scissors, and while I was looking for them I also found my rotary cutter, so I might try cutting it with that and see. It's a really cool thing if you haven't seen it before. It's basically for cutting plush fabric, and once you know how to use it, it is apparently a lot quicker to cut fabric. I have never quite learned how to use it. Essentially it's a pizza slicer, which interestingly I also never know how to use, so maybe there's something there. That worked really nice, so rotary blade recommended. So I'm doing the tablecloths, and here's my dilemma. This linen is really nice both for autumn and for Christmas and winter. I want to do a decor video for different seasons in the year. If I want to decorate this one with just a little bit of orange and stuff, that is not gonna work for the Christmas decor videos. I'd have to change out the tablecloths again. But then if I don't add any decor to it, it's just a linen tablecloth. And I think in reality, I'm just trying to find an excuse so that I can change the tablecloths. You know, bring a bit of excitement into these videos. It doesn't get more exciting than tablecloths. You've convinced me. We're gonna add a bit of decor, fall decor to the tablecloths, and I can get different ones for Christmas. That'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. Okay, I'm gonna make an attempt at doing this and then we'll catch up and I'll show you how I did it once I work out how I'm doing it. Raise your hand if you're in the Yarn Barf Club. Hey baby! Tablecloth finished, and it was actually relatively easy. These are like, I wanted it to be simple decor elements, and yeah, that is definitely what they are. I ended up just doing a very basic stitch. This is as basic as it comes, but it's effective, and it just leaves a little bit of an orange tint to the tablecloth. Let me show you how I did the stitch and the seam. It is so basic, so if you already know how to sew, then you'll already know this, but we'll do it anyways. Okay, so I got my fabric laid out, and what I'm going to start by doing is to just fold up a little piece of fabric here. I'm doing that because the linen sheds, if you can see that, the threads are coming off, so I don't want that to happen every year that I use this cloth. So I'm just gonna fold a bit of a seam here, and I'm using my little clamps. I typically use these for my sketchbook, but they're also very good for sewing projects and even artist alley setups. Instead of sewing thread, I'm using this cotton yarn that you saw me dealing with earlier. It's still massively tangled, but I got enough out to do this project. So I've doubled up my thread, and what that means is just you stick the thread into the needle and pull through until you have enough thread to form a double thread. Okay, so I'm starting from the back, so this whole seam is going to be at the back of the cloth, and we're going to see this. So I'm going to start by just moving this a little bit so that we have time to start here. I want to hide my first stitch and all my messiness in the back, so I'm going to start up here, just stick the needle in, pull it through, So now you got your yarn or your thread sticking out on the nice side, and you got it in the back as well. I'm gonna come down basically here, but we're gonna do it on the upside, on the nice side. So stick your needle in, pull it through again. If you find that your thread gets tangled a lot, just hold your finger or your hand in between to give it a bit of space to stretch out. And there you go, it looks like that. I'm gonna put a bit of a knot here just to make sure that this doesn't rip over time. And you wanna make sure that you don't do it too tight because you don't wanna create like wrinkled fabric here. And now we're gonna go back to the back. Now this is a very, 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 very easy stitch. Perfect for beginners. Stick your needle in and then pull it through again. So on the front, it will look like this now. The back looks like this. And then you just pull your thread through. Oop, I'm standing on mine. Just pull your thread through. And there you go. And if we now look at the other end, this is what we have. And now I'm going to repeat that process many, many, many times over. And I like to see if I can get away with putting a few extra stitches in each time so that I don't have to drag the thread through every single time. You do risk your thread getting stuck when you do this. So I would recommend just starting with a couple of stitches and see like how far you can stretch it. And there you go. And from the front, this is what our stitch looks like. Tablecloths all done. I think they look so cute. I actually ended up doing the computer desk one as well, so now we have both. Our next plan of action is to tackle these two pegboards and make sure that they are filled with autumnal crafting supplies that are going to keep me inspired to create and bring those fall vibes in. I am decorating with quite a bit of craft supplies as well, so hello, we're in my crafting hut. This is a space you don't get to see very often because it is messy, but I tidied it up recently, so we can have a look. I came in here to find some paints and kind of some autumnal things. So let's have a look, see what we can find. That's a better view, I think, which is saying something. Okay, let's have a look in this bag first. A couple of highlighters for sketchbooking. Found my stuff. Let's head back inside. You coming? Here we go. It's so beautiful today. Found some nice things for the art boards. These are water-based acrylic paint markers. I have a whole bunch of different ones, but I decided to go with a nice and autumnal palette. The highlighters I showed you before. A few Arteza special effect paints. I've got these pumpkin bowls, and I don't know if we should do the white one, like that, or the orange one. I think maybe the white. So this is what it's currently looking like, and tell you the truth, I'm a little bit stuck at the moment with what to do with the pegboards. So I want to shift my focus to this area, my desk. I think once I've done that area as well, I'll be less hesitant to use some of the decor elements that I bought because I'll know that I won't need them for anywhere else. Let's do it! Okay, so I was trying to work out what to do with these baskets because they're all pink and green. It doesn't really work with the orange scheme. So one idea was to just leave them there and kind of say, okay, we tried. Another idea I had, because I still have quite a bit of linen fabric left, and I thought one thing that would look nice both for autumn and also for Christmas probably is to just wrap these in linen. So that's what we're gonna do. I love this because it's got the little ribbon on it. Unfortunately, this is pretty much all the ribbon that was in that entire roll, so I don't have enough for all of them, but I do like how this looks. So if you did want to do it, you could wrap your basket with linen and then use orange ribbon to tie around it. By the way, this is not sewn at all. I've just literally tucked the fabric into the basket. When I started planning this video, I actually wanted to do a crochet garland, and I started making it and then realized I'm gonna try making a leafy garland. 2 hours later, and here is what I've made. 1, 2, 3. I think it's safe to say I am not making a garland. Changed my mind a little bit, and I made like these little leaf shape kind of things, and I made 4 of those, and then I also did 9 green leaves. It looks like a little lettuce almost.
I quit.
But now I have all these random leaves, and I think I'm gonna tie them up on the baskets. Good morning! The shelf is looking nice, very autumnal I think. That chunk is done, happy to tick that off. Yesterday it was getting very dark, and so I decided to do a little bit of stuff during the night. I tidied up my mess, I put on the tablecloth, and it's now looking so sweet and cozy. But we're not done. I have a few more things that I would like to do. One, I want to make a pin board with some of my more autumnal pins, and I'll show you how to do that as well if you want to make your own. And then we're going to make a little garland. I've already drawn it, and so we're going to cut it out and put it up on my fairy light. If you're watching this video in the week it is released, then there will be a free download for you in the description. Otherwise, it will also be listed in my shop after that, in case you want to make your own. Let's start with making our pin board, and then we can do the garlands. I'm gonna choose a few of the pins from my shelf to put on the pin board. First one selected, we got a woodland red fox. Next up we have a hummingbird hawk moth. We got a tiger coal, a sunflower pangolin, and a Honduran white bat. Let's see what else we can find. Oh yeah, I did select the common wren as well from my new woodland burbs collection. Final choices have been made. We're gonna do a dangletail red panda, a Lottie the Lotto autumn spirit, a Hank the Crab lemon picnic. My garden center just had a sale on their fruit trees, and I may or may not have ordered 3 lemon trees. Another wooden pin, this is the golden poison frog, a flapjack octopus with a starfish on his head, and finally 2 red foxes. Let's make a pin board. So the pin board we're gonna make is actually one of the easiest things on the planet, but it's so cute and effective, and I wanted to show you how I make them. What you'll need is a selection of pins, an embroidery hoop, any size you'd like. I'm doing a pumpkin board, so I'm going to use some orange felt for the body, and then I'm using a tiny bit of green felt as well. I'm also going to use a tiny bit of fabric glue. You could use a safety pin or even stitch it together if you want, but I'm going to be lazy, I'm just going to use this. I also have fabric scissors, and that is about it. Hello, it's Evie from the past, and you will also need a fabric marker. This is entirely optional, but it's really cute added decor element. I'm going to start with just opening up my embroidery hoop, and there we go. Leaving the inner circle, pop your fabric over it, and pop the outer circle back on. By the way, I am using felt for this, but if you happen to be buying the fabrics in for this, I recommend you get linen or cotton instead, because it's just nicer for your pins. Now, you could go in and glue around the edges. I'm not going to do that because I want to make sure that I can use this embroidery hoop later if I choose to do something else with it. So I'm just going to go in and cut around the edges of my fabric. I'm leaving a tiny edge like this because I want to make sure that the fabric doesn't slip through the frame. So adding just a tiny bit of an edge there will help us prevent that. And there you go, you now have your pumpkin base. You could also use this as an orange. Now I'm going to go in with my fabric marker and just draw in some pumpkin lines. So I'm going to start center point, and I'm going to draw a curve like that, and make sure that I have space for another curve that goes in like this. So let's start. And remember, it's a pumpkin, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm now going to try and mimic it along the other side. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We now have our pumpkin drawn up, so I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to get my green fabric, and we're going to cut some leaves. I want to make 2 leaves. I want to make one bigger one and one smaller one. So So what I'm going to do is just cut out the piece here to roughly the size I want my leaves. And I want one of the leaves to be almost double the size of the other one. So I am gonna make the pieces. I've cut out two pieces that are, one is roughly twice the size, maybe a little bit smaller than twice the size of the other one. And I'm just gonna wing it and make my best leaf shape. Again, remember, these are leaves, they don't have to be perfect. And there you go, you got two funky looking leaves. Now you could leave them like that, but the issue we're getting here is that it looks a little bit like an orange. So what I want to do is go in and add just a little bit of details in my leaves to make them more pumpkin-like. And already you can see that that gives a very different impression than what an orange would. Again, if you wanted to, you could go in and draw details on these, but I like them like this, so I'm just going to keep them as they are. And I'm then going to take my fabric glue and just glue them on like this. Let's start with the bottom one. And then I'm just going to push the leaf down. I'm also positioning these so that I'm hiding the connector in the back. I'm going to put my other leaf on top of this first one again. And I'm putting a little bit of glue on the side as well. That way we get a nice overlap. And there we go. The fabric glue will take a while to dry, so while that's drying, let's put our pins on. And there you go. You now have a cozy pumpkin pin board for autumn. I think I want to hang it right there. Pinboard all assembled. Now let's see if we can make progress with this garland. This is the illustration I've made. It's got my Lottle characters with two brand new Lottles called Maple and Chestnut. I'm gonna print these out on 300 GSM paper. My first sheet turned out really weird and kind of paled washed. Ugh. I don't know why it's doing that, but let's try it again and see if we can get a better print. It's printing. I'm scared. Really hoping this one comes out better. I don't like wasting paper. Don't like wasting paper at all. We'll see. I'm also thinking that actually these ones are too small. I'll do a small version with that. I think what I'm gonna do is split them into two separate sheets so that the shapes can be bigger, because I don't think these ones are big enough. It happened again. Look at this. And I'm not sure what's causing it. So what I'm doing is I've changed the levels. So I've made the levels a bit darker. And I have also saved them out as PNGs, and I'm printing through my Photos app. Because I have a feeling it might actually be the software, because there was a recent software update. I use the Affinity bundle. There's always a software update. But there was a software update, and I'm gonna go see now if this has made a difference. It has not, which is frustrating. I was gonna say maybe from far away it's alright, but it is really, really weak, and I can't work out why. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna save it as a PDF and try printing from there. I'm doing a print cleaning check just to see if that's the issue. I'm also wondering if it might be my cardstock, because I've never actually printed dark colors other than black or grey. Goodness. I'm gonna use this different type of paper. It's a bit thinner, not ideal, but it does have a nice autumnal grain to it, so I do like that. We'll see, wish me luck. Print head is clean, no issues there, and I've mushed it up for some reason. Different paper, so much better. It's still not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better, and I think since I'm gonna see it in a distance, I'm alright with that, but I definitely need to check out what's happening with my printer because I want to make sure the colors are good. It's stocked up with ink, it's the genuine Epson inks, and I don't know what could be wrong. Anyhow, this is much better. I'm gonna use that instead of the other ones, and we'll get started. You could use the Cricut to cut these out, but I think in the spirit of crafting season, I want to cut them by hand. Plus, it gives us a nice ASMR moment. Let's do ASMR. Finished cutting out all the different lottos. They're looking cute. I definitely need to work out what the issue is with the printer though, because obviously I make my own stickers at home and I do not want issues like this. I want nice colors, but for decor and for a fun project, I think it's all right. I don't really, but I'm trying to. Trying to be alright with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach these to my fairy lights that are already attached over my packing station. And I've cut out these little straw things on each character. And what I'm going to do is just fold it across like this over the wire of the fairy lights. And then I'm going to use a tiny bit of washi tape to just secure it. You might not even need the washi tape, but I'm going to do it anyways, just in case.
Dance for me, easy tiger, easy, let your hair down. Come closer, let me see all your million faces and all your million mistakes. You don't need to hide. Come closer so that we can be.
Garland all done, and I think it's looking super cute. I ended up not using the washi tape after all. If we ever had like a windy draft or something in here, I would definitely use the washi, but we don't really. Like, we don't have an air con, we don't really keep the windows open in here because we keep them open in other parts of the house. If it becomes an issue, I might add some washi, but for now, it's alright. I wanted to talk about the blank areas above my desk and above my packing station. I've been thinking of what to do with these areas for a while, and I think for now I want to leave them blank. I asked you in my previous organization video what I should do with them, and I got so many good ideas, and I am really struggling to choose. So I'm letting it brew for a little bit, and we'll see what happens. However, the area above my packing station, I think it will be cute if throughout autumn, when we're making autumnal art, I can print it out and put it on the wall and get like a visual representation and daily reminder of all the art that we've been making this autumn. I think that will be so nice and motivating to see when I come into the studio in the morning. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to be doing. To attach the illustrations, I have my Kelp Kobe washi tape because this one has like a nice and autumnal theme. It's at least the closest I have to an autumnal washi tape. I've never done a whole lot of autumn art, and I'm excited to change that this season. In my upcoming videos, we are going to be focusing a lot on my November shop update and my Kickstarter, so I hope you enjoy that. Let's get back to work. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And a reminder, if you're watching this video in release week, there will be a freebie link in the description where you can get your free Garland printable. And after that week, it will also be available in my shop very cheaply. I hope this video inspired you to create a cozy atmosphere around your own space this season. I do have one more thing I want to do to the studio this fall. It's not decor, but it's definitely a cozy thing. But that is a topic for another video. If you'd like to see more from me, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!